Hey guys, and welcome back today for a brand new video. Welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Molly and I do lots of makeup reviews and hauls, so make sure you subscribe if you are not already. Today we are talking all about the new e.l.f. Camo foundation. This is a brand new foundation from e.l.f. and it is a powder foundation, which I'm very excited to demo for you guys today. We're gonna test it out, see how we like it, see if we do like it, and I'm gonna share with you guys everything about it, so let's go ahead and get started. So this is the Camo powder foundation. You guys know they have their Camo concealer, and then they also have their Camo CC cream. I wasn't the biggest fan of the CC cream, so I will say that kind of was like, should I get the powder? But I was very interested in this. I am someone who used to hate powder foundations, but I've been getting into them more lately. I think the reason is just because I've been going for more like easy everyday type of looks, and I feel like powder foundation is perfect for that. I've been really enjoying the Huda Beauty Luminous Pressed Powder. That one I actually have pan in, which is crazy because I never hit pan, especially in like new products. So you know I've been loving that one. So I was very intrigued by this and excited to try it out. So I did get mine from Ulta. Ulta has a few shades, although when I did grab this, it was like most of them were sold out, but the shade that I would have chose was in stock. So this is light 210 neutral. So it looks like this does come in 30 different shades. Like I said, Ulta only has a selected amount of shades, so there's only a few over there, and most of them were out of stock, but this is going to launch on e.l.f.'s website. I see it on the website, but it doesn't say when it's available yet, so it's not available yet, but it will be coming soon to e.l.f., and I'm assuming also stores that carry e.l.f. It does retail for $11. Like I said, there are 30 different shades. They have warm, neutral, and then also cool tones of this foundation. I went ahead and got neutral. That's what I get in most of them. So I'm very excited to try this out. I am going to read to you. I have the e.l.f. website pulled up over here. I'm going to read to you guys some of the claims on this. It says that it's primer infused, so similar to like their bronzer, their primer infused blushes. And then it also says it's buildable formula that offers medium to full coverage for a semi-matte finish. It does say it's going to be long wear and non-cakey. It says it's going to stay throughout the day. It does say medium to full coverage, gives a blurred look to the complexion as well as an air creaseless resistant talc-free option to create a flawless base. This is what the packaging right here looks like. It is just a basic like component. Kind of looks like your typical powder foundation that you get from the drugstore. So you have your product here, the mirror, and then it also does come with one of those little puffs here at the bottom. So they recommend applying it with this. I'm gonna try it. Honestly, I used to like throw these things away and never use them, but lately, like I said, I've been into just like minimal, easy, effortless stuff, and I've been kind of using puffs like that just to apply my foundation. So I'm gonna try it that way. I am going to go ahead and prep my face first. So before we try it out here, I'm just gonna use my Tatcha water cream first. I've been using this for my moisturizer before I go in with my foundation. I feel like that's been doing a really good job at giving my skin an extra layer of hydration. I know it's a pricey product and I was never one to like love this, but since I've been like using it in my routine regularly, I swear by this. I think it makes my pores look better, and just all over. I notice that my foundation just goes on smoother when I prep with this. I am just gonna let that settle here just for a second. I kind of just let it seep into my skin, and then we'll apply our primers. And then for primer, I am just gonna use the e.l.f. Putty Primer just because I feel like we are doing an e.l.f. video, so we might as well. So this is their matte putty primer, and I'm just gonna apply this directly to my pore area just to help blur any of those larger pores that I may have. Since we are going to be using a powder foundation, I'm going to do my concealer first because I feel like anytime I use a powder foundation, I want to put that down before so that the powder doesn't affect my under eye area at all. So I'm just going to be going in with the e.l.f. This is the Camo Hydrating Concealer. I'm going to use this just to help cancel out some of the darkness that I have under my eyes. The shade that I'm using is Light Sand. I do feel like this shade is a little bit yellow, but I can make it work. So as I said, the color is like a little bit yellow, but I think the foundation honestly is going to be a little like deep for me too, so I think it'll work. I am going to go ahead and use this little puff that it comes with, and then I'll also use a brush. We'll do one side with this and one side with a brush. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my little applicator in there and start to put that on the face. I am going to tap instead of like swiping. So wow, okay, the shade is definitely deep, which is interesting because this is light 210 neutral. So I'm typically more in like the light range in foundations, but I think for this one, I would definitely be in the fair side. So I would have, I have to do the fair one. So there is a fair, I believe it's fair 120 neutral. So I think that that would have been the one that I should have went with, but it's okay. We're gonna make it work. We're gonna still try to see how it performs. So I'm just kind of buffing this onto the skin. I will say the coverage on it looks really good. It looks like it has decent coverage, but when you look at it closely, I do see like it's kind of pilling a little bit. I don't know if that's just how I'm applying it. I don't typically, I said I have used these before, but like it's like not like my preferred application method, so I don't know. Let's go ahead and do my forehead now. I feel like the shade is also kind of throwing me off because it's so much darker than my skin. I'm gonna go over here on my nose, really make sure to get in all of the crevices here. So it's definitely emphasizing my pore area even after applying that mattifying primer. So like my Huda Beauty one, I feel like does not, doesn't do that. I feel like it looks really nice on my pores, so that's kind of like a little bit of a letdown, but for a matte, it's like supposed to be like a matte powder, so it's not gonna be super luminous, so we'll see how it looks with the brush. But there is it right now with this applicator. I'm gonna do, let's do a couple of, my son is watching Paw Patrol over there. You can probably hear him. He's saying go, go, go. But let's do a couple of these. See if that kind of, okay, I do actually feel like that kind of smoothed it out a little bit more doing like swiping motions. So maybe that would be the best route of application with this instead of doing like the tapping, would be to swipe. I do feel like the coverage is really good. It's doing a nice job at covering, like it covered most of my redness. I do have some discoloration right here, and I feel like it did cover it pretty good. Now let's go ahead and use a brush now for the other side of my face. So for the brush, I'm gonna actually just use this airbrush complexion brush from It Cosmetics. I go back and forth. So I either use like a brush like this to use my powder foundations, or I go in with like a fluffier brush. It just depends on what kind of like coverage I want. But for this, the sake of this video, I really want to see how much coverage we can get from this product. So I am gonna just apply it with the brush. I can tell you right off the bat, I like this much better. I feel like this already is just looking like it's more like blending into my skin better, not really sitting on top like it looks like on the other side. I'm gonna build it up just a teensy bit. But yeah, I definitely think the finish is looking better with a brush personally. So I would recommend laying it down with a brush, because I do think it's giving it more of like a lighter look to it, not so heavy. I'm gonna swing this down my neck since it's so deep for me. So looking at this side, I actually think it looks really pretty. I actually really like the finish of it with the brush. This side I still feel like looks really heavy, and see how much more like emphasized everything looks over here. But over here, I definitely think it looks more smoother. Let me know what you guys think down below. I don't think it's sitting the best like in my lines and stuff up here, but it is a powder. We have to keep that in mind. Like it's a powder. It's not like a liquid product. So it doesn't always, powder products for me personally, I feel like do tend to, if you have a little bit more mature skin, age you a little bit. So that's why I've kind of been leaning more towards using like more cream products, but I still do love a good powder. So I did still want to try this product. Like I said, I've been loving that Huda Beauty one. I use it a bunch because it's just easy to use a powder. You don't have to worry about setting or anything. So I'm going to go ahead and apply some other products, and we'll see how it plays with the rest of the products I'm going to use. So keeping with the e.l.f. theme, I'm going to go into one of my bite-sized palettes. This is the Spiced Apple palette, and this one is a blush and highlight, but I'm going to use this one more as like a bronzer shade. So I'm just going to tap this on the cheeks here, kind of give a little bit of warmth to the skin. But this foundation I feel like is already pretty deep, so I'm not going to go too crazy with it. And then I'm going to go into this duo. This is in Cantaloupe, and I'm going to add this for blush right on top of that. And then I'm going to use the highlight from that palette to add a little bit of glow. The longer it sits on the skin, the more I am liking it. I do think it has really nice coverage. I do think it looks really nice. I just think it's the color that's really throwing me off. I do think I need like 2 shades like lighter. Like you can see how much deeper it is than my neck. So I think it's the color, and probably when you're watching that's gonna throw you off with this, but I do think the finish of it is actually pretty nice. I'm gonna spray some of my Farsali. This is the Rose Gold Elixir. I'm gonna just give a quick spritz to my face just to kind of help melt everything together. For lip, I'm going to go in with this one from Joa. I really love these lipsticks. These are their Air Light lipsticks. They're very nice. If you are looking for a dupe for the MAC Powder Kisses, they are very, very similar. The shade that I am wearing is called Daydream. It's a really comfortable matte that's like very airy looking. So I will say that for a powder, after I applied like all of my highlights and everything, I think it looks really good. I don't think it looks like overly powdery in any way. I don't feel like it's like clinging to anything necessarily. I do feel like a little bit maybe over here, it maybe could look better. But I do think, again, that was kind of like application. I feel like had I maybe used a brush on all of the areas, like maybe it would look a little bit better. In my lines though, I do feel like my forehead like doesn't look great. That is the thing with powder sometimes with me. That happens with the Huda Beauty powder as well, is I feel like my forehead lines just like really look emphasized, and I feel like a lot of times when I use like a liquid foundation, that doesn't happen as much. So for me, that probably means I won't wear this a ton just because I am a little bit more self-conscious about those. But everything else I think actually looks really nice. The pore area is a little bit enlarged, but I don't think it's horrible now that I've applied like the rest of my products. It definitely does look a little bit shiny, but I'm not mad at that. I like a good shiny look. So you guys will have to let me know what you think on this. I would definitely recommend applying it with a brush instead of the little applicator in there, but I don't know. I don't hate it. I'm very curious to try it out some more, try it out with some of my other products. I also want to try to wear it like over top of my liquid foundations, kind of like as a setting powder, and see how I like it as that as well. I was excited to see e.l.f. do some more complexion products because I do feel like they do that area really well and for a nice affordable price. So I think I'm going to leave it here for this review. I just wanted to do like this first impressions with you guys, kind of just hang out and try out this product together. If you want to see like a more detailed review after I've tried this out for a little bit longer, definitely let me know. I hope you did find this helpful though, just seeing the application of it. I will link down below the powder on Ulta and then a link to e.l.f. if you want to check out like the full shade range on this and see all of the shade options that they do have on the e.l.f. website as well. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you back soon here with a new video.